So remind us, you're at Tesco's, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I am.
And which store are you in?
Amesbury.
And how long have you been there for?
6 years.
Oh, wow.
Hi, I'm Anna Campbell. I'm from Tesco Mobile and I'm based in Amesbury. Galaxy. Just tastes smoother. Yeah, so I'm addicted to Star Wars. I follow The Mandalorian and recently I've been watching Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So tell us a little bit about what makes you good about your role. What are you best at?
I'm very good at working out how to pitch to different people, the levels of pitching to the audience. I'm particularly good with the older generation. I try to treat the older generation as I would expect my mother to be treated.
What are you most proud of? You know, whether that's an experience or whether that's something you've achieved or hit targets?
There's two things. There's the one with my colleague who has become my manager. She's like my work daughter and I'm like her work mum. And it's supporting her through that process and watching her grow. I always say, you know you're old when your manager's the same age as your youngest child. So I use Samsung Backstage. We also have a group chat with Tesco Mobile Connects, but I tend to follow a lot of IT and communication, news, motorsport. I don't do motorsport, but I follow motorsport. Okay. I used to go to Goodwood Festival of Speed and to touring cars. Now I don't anymore, but that's what Saturdays is about in my house, because you're always qualifying on a Saturday. So it's either MotoGP, Formula One or touring cars.
The industry we're in, we have a combination of we've got to hit sales targets and we want to deliver a great customer experience, right? If I was to ask you to say what out of those two is more important?
To me, customer service.
Even though we've got this commercial drive in us that...
Because if we don't give the customer service, NPS is a primary example. If you don't give the customer service, you won't make the NPS.
Yeah, fantastic NPS.
Yeah.
And poor sale.
Yeah.
What would you choose? Tough question, right?
It is a very tough question. Personally, I would rather go for the customer service and have the returning customer. And then it's easier to defend if you... I mean, my targets have been reached. So it's... defend the fact that you haven't made the targets. So the last thing you want to do is make the targets but lose the company customers. It would mean the world, because it would also mean as well that it would repay the faith that the store and my manager have had in me and the support that they've given me.
How do you deal with difficult customers? So somebody that maybe comes back the next day, they're not happy, that they maybe missold something or just generally unhappy with?
Most of it goes over the top of my head and I just smile sweetly. And I was brought up in the pub trade, so difficult customers have been part of my life. It's just talking to the customer, keeping the pitch of your voice at the right level, empathising and really listening to the customer and repeating, if it's a complaint, repeating back what they're saying so that you've proven that you've listened to them.
Thank you. Fab, thank you. So that is this section over. What is it that you like about your job? What do you like to do?
I like working with tech in general. Like before this, it was I worked for Carphone Warehouse, and before that, it was CX. And I've done repairs for PCs and stuff like that. So essentially, like my entire kind of career out of college has been through tech. But this job specifically, I get to talk to a lot of customers, but I get to sell, really good products. I get to sell Samsung devices, and I really do enjoy that. Yeah. So my name's Callum Walsh, and I work in the Trafford Centre store, in Manchester. The boys, I can't really get into it because it's kind of a not safe for work show, but that's what I've been watching. Yeah, superheroes gone bad, that kind of thing. All of them. I mean, I get the privilege to have bought all of them, spent too much money. I've got PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch.
And kind of, what do you think are the fundamental attributes of a great salesperson?
So I've got to go over like knowledge. So in terms of that technical knowledge, but also the knowledge of the products, honesty, kindness, enthusiasm, and knowledge. Yeah. Taking dog for a walk. Going for a run. I've been trying to lose this after COVID. And I've just kind of got on the scales. I was like, so I kind of I've started obviously doing all that. Outside of that, read a good book, go for a night out. I would say pizza. It's it's boring one, isn't it? That or bolognese, spaghetti bolognese, the Italian stuff. I mean, it'd been quite a lot actually, because it's kind of like it'd get me out there, you know. So it's basically something that I can show. So having an award in the industry that I love will mean quite a lot to me.
So Callum, you talked about selling and obviously delivering a great customer experience, I guess is really important, isn't it? What's more important out of those two? Selling or great experience?
So there's a balance of anything, right? Yeah, yin and yang. But I'd say it's obviously when you're being paid to sell something, selling is going to be more important. You know, in terms of like, I think they're kind of equally important. But if I was to pick one, obviously selling would be the most important, simply for that is the job. But in terms of customer experience, it's a close second, because once again, people are going to buy from you if you don't give them a good experience. If they come to the store and they have a terrible experience from the get-go, they're not going to want to buy your product. But the whole point, giving them a good experience is so they buy a product.
So, you'll be pleased to hear this part of the judging is over. Hi, Sian. Welcome to the judging room. What would you say makes you so good at you?
I like to take that extra step with someone, so after I found out what they wanted and got on the deal, I take it a step further. I pass on my email, and like if they're struggling to set up the phone or anything like that, I would say, right, take my email address and arrange a call back, and I can take it that step further and give them that personal touch to get it all set up and things.
So when it comes to like customer service and sales, what do you think is like the most,
It's listening to what the customer wants and not just selling them something that's out of their price range, or a phone that's going to do everything that they might not use all those features. Just get into the nitty gritty of what you use your phone for, what kind of things do you do on your phone, what kind of apps you use. Just get into what they want, not send them something they don't want.
What's your ambition?
I'd I've told my manager, I don't want to be a team leader. I want to be on the front line. I don't want to be, I've seen like the work he's got to do and he does other things. That's not me. I want to go in and help people. I feel like I was put on this earth to help people. Like before I did do management work. I ran a preschool nursery, and after my parents died, it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to be there helping the children. I don't want to run with people with learning difficulties and children with learning difficulties. I'm a people person. I don't want to be stuck behind the desk doing monitoring all these people. I want to be there helping.
What drives you to go to work every day?
Family. Without trying to get upset. I was an only child, and my mum worked her bones off. She was like a staff nurse, my dad was a paramedic, and I had everything and anything. I never had to worry about anything. Sadly, I lost my mum 6 years ago, October. I was going to move back with my dad to help him, you know, because he was had a rare lung disease, so he only had a couple of years. He decided to give up, no more treatment, and passed 3 months later. I did have a few months that I was like, right, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to go to bed, but then I thought, I've got my daughter, and I wanted to show her a good work ethic, that she could put her mind to anything at any point as well. And then luckily I met somebody 5 months later. We got married 3 weeks ago. It's always about them, being able to give them and showing them that all about family.